outdoor podcast is you taking a piss in the tree.
The way it packs in. Whether you want to wear this around your waist or put this inside one of your packs if you don't feel like walking in with it. But one thing, the most compressed form of this is very, very slim, the way it packs in. Whether you want to wear this around your waist or put this inside one of your packs if you don't feel like walking in with it. But one thing I will say before we get started here is out of the saddles that I've held, Jeffrey has been a gear junkie over the last probably 4 years with on and off between saddles and tree stands. But all the saddles that he's held, this has probably been the most robust one I've actually had in my hand. And although it may not be the absolute lightest one I've ever held, it is probably the most quality one I've ever held. Before we get started here, I will advocate for the customer service level that this company brings. If you message them off the website, the person that's going to be messaging you back is probably going to be the owner, which I would say is a breath of fresh air because you don't have to go through 400 different customer support agents to try to figure out what you're doing. Actually, this saddle here, there's a little bit of a mishap when it was shipped out, and he's getting it fixed for me. It looks like they had a problem with the shipping hub, and it switched some stuff around. It's not on him, but I got somebody else's saddle, but whoever it is also a big dude, so it's only about 2 inches shorter than the one I ordered. He's getting it fixed, and it's already on the way. But I'll get into it here. If you see here with this saddle, you got all your molly straps and your webbing straps. It's stitched every 1.5 inches. Yep. And in transport mode, you have a G-hook on the front of it here. So if you want to put this out to where you're going to use it, all you got to do is unlock the G-hook. It allows the back to drop down. And these two tension buckles here, you fully compress out flat. That's one side there and one side here. So, yep. Yeah, it does the same thing on both sides here. So, yeah, the Sidewinder does the same thing through them. I'm pretty sure most of their saddle setups they have, every type of saddle they have, a Custom Gear Modifications has that kind of same design to it. It's kind of like their signature design. But as you see here, without this thing extended out, this is a big saddle, I would say. This one here is in the Predator colorway. See here, it'll say Predator on the side of it. And it's like a moisture wicking, so this thing's not going to hold a lot of water. It's not going to get mildewy. If you're ever sitting out in the rain, you need to air dry it. As you can see here, the type of fabric it is. I really do think it's a pretty sweet pattern, I'm not going to lie. But with bigger guys like me, you have a lot more real estate from the top of your hips to where you want to sit on the back of your legs. So if you want to do this thing gets huge. That is a hammock. This thing here, I mean, yeah, for a big baby like me. I would say that this is the best big and tall saddle out there for bigger guys. Now, this isn't tailored to just bigger guys. They actually have two different size options on their website. It's size package 1, which fits up to, I believe, a 36-inch waist, and a size number 2 that fits up to a 40 to 42 waist. And if you email them directly or message them directly off the site, they are willing to work with you to make a custom size. Me and Jeffrey both got a custom size saddle. He has a Sidewinder. Like I said, this is a Cobra. The modifications he's going to make is going to be a longer D-loop action here, so the actual bridge loops, and also the waist belt. So these get extended out here. This one was extended out, I believe, in the factory like 1 inch. I wanted 3.5 inches. So that's what he's going to fix. I don't think you can have too big of a waist belt because they do cinch down. And if you have a lot more gear on, like if you're a bigger guy and you have a pair of overalls on, you want to make sure you have enough real estate to work with. Other than that, I mean, this thing I would say it's quality made. What do you think? What else should I hit on?
It's got the extra loops in case you do a some kind of rappel line or something.
Cut this part out when I wave. Okay. Also, with that, it has the extra loops on the side here if you decide to do any descending from the tree or rappelling, and you want to use a descender. Or I see guys at one stick, they can also put their stick on their hip right there when they're walking in. One stick would probably be pretty easy to walk in with the hip on it. I would say if you're running more than one stick, you want a pack or a tree stand that has a transport system for your sticks. But this is also a good thing. So they make there's a couple different companies out there that make transport systems to hook to the side of your belt for your stick. You can run it off these loops here as you're climbing the tree, and you'll have your sticks with you. Or another thing you do that Jeff does is if you have one of those night-eye gear ties, you can gear tie your stick right to the side of here as you're going up, and you can double that gear tie as a tether cinch. That way your tether doesn't fall down the tree. I know a lot of companies make that tether aider that makes sure when you tighten your tether up, it doesn't fall down the tree, but we've learned through necessity of budgeting and being cheap that you can use a night-eye gear tie and do the same thing. Other than that, we're going to go put this on the tree, and we're going to see how this performs, and you'll see how it fits, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Now that we've already done the actual review at the truck, this is what it looks live on the tree with a big dude in it. Us over here at GGC Outdoors, we're all three big dudes. Kind of goes from medium to big to bigger. Unfortunately, I'm the bigger guy. But the Cobra saddle fits just fine. I'm actually a little plug for Custom Gear Modifications. The guy that runs that has the absolute best customer service. He actually sent me this saddle. This is the incorrect one. They had a shipping mishap. Texted him. He's sending the other one this way, and it'll be here Monday. But even the smaller one fits well, even without it extended out with the full pleat. But, I mean, you sit back into the tree, adjust this a little bit. I would have no problem sitting in this thing pretty much all day. The pinch is not like a hip pinch. It's more like it just crunches your belly together since you got a belly. But there's stuff out there that will help you with that hip pinch stuff. I know Genesis 3D printing makes the hip pinch eliminator. I'm probably going to end up getting that just to try it out. But I can't extend it out. So if you end up wanting to extend this out, all you do is got to sit into it and pull the pleat down. It extends out really, really deep and ends up, I mean, it goes all the way to almost the back of my knee, all the way up to the top of my hips here. And, I mean, you can hit yourself into a tree. This thing's holding about 365 pounds right now, and it's doing pretty good with the Invader platform. What other things do you think I'd hit on, Jeff?
How he's going to extend the thing for you.
Oh, yeah. So he's extending out the actual bridge height, or the length, to make it come out around a little bit further. I think I added an extra 2.5 inches to this one here. And also the actual hip waist belt is extended out. This one fits just fine. I actually have about 4 or 5 inches left. But if I'm ever in a situation where I'm saddle hunting in the cold and I have overalls on, I want to be able to actually get the saddle on. Everything else is pretty nice. I mean, you got the little bridge aider on it, the where you can loosen and tighten it up a little bit if you need a shorter bridge. Yep. And yeah, this thing's, I mean, every company has its own rating, but I mean, he's willing to do custom stuff for bigger guys. Jeff has the which one is it? The Sidewinder, and this is the Cobra RTG. I think it's listed on the website. You can either get it as just the saddle itself, or you can get it as the kit. I have the kit. I got the rest of the stuff coming this way, so it'll have the 2 side bags, the tether rope, and I believe the carabiners come with it. And it's for the money. I mean, I think this one right now on the website is like $349, I believe, and then you add the kit to it. I think it makes like $379. So it's right on line with just about every saddle on the market, but you have the availability to make it bigger for bigger guys. I know the common thing you see now with the hunting industry is you got all these skinny dudes climbing these trees that don't weigh nothing, maybe $120 soaking wet with bricks in their pocket. But if you're a bigger guy, don't be afraid to step away from those ladder stands. I mean, we're actually in the same spot that I religiously had a ladder stand. And I refuse to go minimalist because you're a bigger dude. You don't think it's going to hold you. I promise you. I mean, this is the XOP Invader platform, and it's doing really good even with some side pressure, and that's not just any old side pressure. That's some pounds, and it's holding. So it shouldn't be any problem at all. And this is actually the tether that comes with the XOP platform, and I believe it comes with their harness that you can double as a saddle. The Mondo, yeah. Now the Mondo doesn't fit bigger guys as good because you have a lot of the shoulders involved. It's like a normal safety harness. Yeah. But if you guys are looking for a company that's going to go out of their way to make something conform to you or make something for you, you don't have to go with custom gear modifications, but that's something that we use over here at GGC Outdoors. Yep. And actually, let me see the camera, Jeff, and I'll show you how big it looks like. Yeah. So if you hold on a second. So if you look at Jeff's saddle here, this is the Sidewinder by Custom Gear Modifications. He has more room in that belt there than I've ever had in any shirt in my entire life.
Yeah, and you don't get to hit that.
Yeah, and you weigh what, 280, 290? Okay. Me and him are both on diet, so our weight's going to be changing, hopefully lower every week. But yeah, I mean, turn sideways, Jeff. If this don't look like a weight loss commercial for saddles, I don't know what does. But yeah, I mean, turn around. Let me see it. And you can pair these with, the suspender straps. I mean, Trophy Line makes some. First Light makes some. Tethered makes some. Yep, those are the tethered ones. If you're going to run saddles, please get suspenders, because if you're like us and we don't have any junk in the trunk, it looks like we ran backwards into a wall. They just like to slide down your back. All right, what else can we talk about up here? We can cut this part of the video. What else you want to talk about? It's goofy.